Someone recommended that I play a deck like this, and they referred to it as Cannibal Warlock. I guess because you're using your dudes to eat your other dudes. In Knights of the Frozen Throne, we got Sanguine Reveler and Unwilling Sacrifice. The thing about these two cards is I really feel like Unwilling Sacrifice is not necessarily a great aggro card. I don't really think it's a great control card either. But it feels more control-y or mid-rangey than aggro, whereas Sanguine Reveler really feels like an aggressive card. So it seems kind of weird that both of these cards got printed in the same set, but I'm trying to play them both in the same deck. And since every deck wants to go up to Bone Mare anyway, I guess nothing is like pure aggro. So with the theme of the Reveler and the Unwilling Sacrifice, we've also got a Void Terror and 2 Ravenous Pterrordaxes. As far as things we want to eat, we've got the obvious Devilsaur egg, we've got Twilight Summoners, we've got Volatile Elemental, which I think is kind of an interesting inclusion, because the Elemental often creates pretty weird board situations, or you can even just go like Elemental plus Reveler on turn 3, which is pretty strong even. And there aren't really enough great death rattles to go fully in on killing your own death rattles, so we've also got Possessed Villager and Forbidden Ritual, so we can just kill some easily generated 1/1s. And then other than that, we've got some Zoo cards, Flame Imps, and Voidwalkers. Direwolf Alpha is pretty good with all the tokens and with the Devilsaur eggs. Councilman is good with the Forbidden Rituals specifically. And then we play OP Frozen Throne cards like Cobalt Scalebane, Despicable Dreadlord, and Bone Mare.
Let the hunt begin. Your soul shall be mine.
I can play a 3/3 on turn 1. That's pretty dope, right? Or I can hold it for a Volatile Elemental combo. I guess it's kind of flexible either way. Now we can just play a Flame Imp on turn 1. That's a good Hearthstone card. I think I'm just going to play both of these 1-drops. He's probably going to play Crackling Razor Maw this turn. Don't exactly have a great response to it, but getting a couple dudes on the board might be nice. As long as he doesn't get something that lets the Macaw trade into the Flame Imp, I think I'm pretty happy. Or sometimes he just doesn't have Crackling Razor Maw. That's pretty good too. I guess I just play this thing. It's not excellent, but I can play it here. He can trade his crab into his 3/2, but then the Volatile Elemental is still a bit of an issue. +1/+1. Okay, well if he's trading that in there, then I just trade the Elemental into this thing. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna trade in here, send this face, and then go for a 3/3 and another Volatile Elemental. Get some power on the board, and it sets up the Elemental for the Pterrordaxes follow-up. Wow, no play. No play is a surprisingly good play there, because I wanted to kill my Elemental and kill his thing. But I guess I am Warlock, so I can always just tap and then play a Flame Imp here. I guess, all in all, if he's not doing anything, I'm happy, right? Because his hero power does 2 damage, my board does more than 2 damage. He has to do a thing. Wow, that is a bad turn 4. That's a really bad turn 4. Damage. More damage. Hell yeah. It's kind of vulnerable to a kill command since I didn't pick a defensive adaptation here. But like if he's playing Beast Kill Command, I'm just getting him for 6 with these other guys and he's just gonna die.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be mine.
So probably don't keep Unwilling Sacrifice, especially against Mage. This thing costs 4 mana, and this thing costs 3 mana. Probably don't even keep the Elemental, honestly. I just want solid 1-drops. Alright. Got two of the cards I mulligan, but now that I have 1-drops, those cards look quite a bit more appealing. Start with the Possessed Villager. I could have coined out a 3/3 there, but with my hand I think the coin looks pretty valuable. Let's make a 3/3, I guess. It's kind of inefficient. But we can go 3 into 4 into 5 into coin Bone Mare. That would be a decent curve. Our 4-drop isn't exactly great against Mage. Could coin this guy out and follow it up with Pterrordaxes. It's probably better, actually.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Wow, why didn't you hero power my 1/1? The hero power kills it perfectly. Alright, we hit our synergy. Divine Shield's not great against Mage, because they can just hero power it, but it does kind of prevent him from just fireballing my guy next turn, which might be pretty valuable, so I guess I'll take it. Wow, these kind of suck. I guess I'll just give it more stats. Alright. That's a reasonable response from him, but he's still gonna eat 5 damage here, and I got to kill his 2/3. Alright. Just put a bunch of power on the board. Despicable Dreadlord's effect isn't really particularly impactful here, so we'll just put a lot more stats out. Made sure to separate the Pterrordaxes and the Councilman because of Meteor. It wasn't Meteor, but it could have been Meteor. Let's just throw this guy out and again separate him from the Councilman. The hero power on this guy kind of looks like a Flame Strike, and the 4/5 has more than 4 health, so it's pretty good against Flame Strike. Okay, no Flame Strike. So we can pop him with Bone Mare here, I do believe. Popping him super low isn't that important, because I don't have any Soulfires or Doomguards or anything in my deck. But I do probably want to pop him at a reasonably low life total. Alright, we can just pop him at 1 here. Pop him at 1 and make a lot of stuff. I wonder if I could have positioned this in a way that doesn't get cleared by Meteor. Could have put the Bone Mare in between the Councilman and the Flame Imp. That was probably better. Wonder if I threw this game because of my positioning, because that was definitely wrong. Well, that's a good Dreadlord.
I bring life.
Oh my god, I threw this game while tilting. I mean, it's not over, I could still win, but it's way harder than it needs to be. I'm definitely playing the Void Terror and popping the egg. Not sure if I want to play the Pillager. The Void Terror is going to have enough health. Probably doesn't really make too much sense to eat the Villager too. I have a lot of stuff on board here. 3 things that don't, or 4 things even with the Villager that don't straight up die to Flame Strike. Blizzard is an issue though. Probably not much of a reason for me to play Forbidden Ritual here. Develop the Councilman. I can do a lot of burst damage with Forbidden Ritual if it lets me. And then if not, he's leaving my other guys unchecked to punch him in the face. I don't think I beat Jaina though. My deck doesn't burst hard enough. There's no way we can avoid having 1 health minions, so I guess we just make a bunch of 1 health minions and hope we don't get too wrecked for it. I don't think there's any way I can push enough damage though. Wow, that's really bad.
An incredible discovery.
Yeah, this game's over.
You win this time.
Gul'dan versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Your soul shall be mine.
I feel like coin Devilsaur Egg into Devilsaur Egg is not actually that strong. I'll keep 1 though. This is a decent curve. Pretty good if I can pick up some of my Cannibal cards.
I'm in charge now.
Voidwalker's good into this board. But we're still praying that there's not a Keleseth coming down. The Pterrordaxes is a good pickup though. Backstab's strong, but certainly much better for me than Keleseth. Play out this guy. 1-5 stat line is actually pretty good here. Could have coined out the Devilsaur Egg and then YOLO'd the Unwilling Sacrifice on whatever 3-drop he plays here. Wow, that would have backfired. And also is just bad. But it really would have been bad against Firefly.
You are not the boss of me.
Oh my god, he got a 1-drop off the Swashbuckler. That's actually really strong. He would have played Captain there if he had it, I think, so I'll kill the bigger dude instead of the Pirates. That deck doesn't typically play good 4-drops, so it's pretty likely that his turn won't be that strong, especially given that his turn 3 was not even a 3-drop, just a bunch of garbage. So maybe the Pterrordaxes will be enough to get me back in this. He's even spending time trading, which is probably good for me. Not that he really has much of a choice. This is a very easy Pterrordax here. This is the curve we designed our deck around after all. We'll take health, because health is good. I want more health. I mean, the other 2 are pretty worthless. Stacking this much health isn't great because it's probably getting Vile Spined pretty soon. But it's decent, I guess. It's pretty unlikely that he would be able to Shadow, or be able to Vile Spine at this turn. It would have to be like Shadow Step. If I hit the Unwilling Sacrifice 50-50 here, it's actually so good. That is if I play Volatile Elemental Unwilling Sacrifice. Maybe it's so good that I just go for it. Even if I miss and it just kills the 4-3, yeah, I mean, that's not great. Alright, let's just trade off into that, because that guy snowballs. Use some of our boy's health here, because he's probably just getting Vile Spined anyway, so put that health to work. And then do this. Next turn we can Unwilling Sacrifice this Twilight Summoner, which is pretty good. Although I guess we can probably just trade it off most of the time. Captain, sure. I want to kill that Shaku, but there's no convenient way to do it. I guess just playing Elemental Unwilling Sacrifice is pretty good here. Yeah, I'll do that, I guess. I want to trade this off because I want the 5/5. And then we'll kill here. Elemental Sacrifice. And then the Elemental kills this. And I probably don't need a taunt this turn, do I? I'll just play the Villager. Wow, this is terrible betrayal positioning. Wow. Why would you ever play that when War Golem is a card that you could put in your deck? If I push 9 damage this turn, I can put him to 18. I'll have 15 on the board with no way to draw damage, really. I guess I'll just do the play that leaves me with a big thing on the board. I could have put the Bone Marrow on the Possessed Villager, but then I have to trade off my taunt, and I lose all the stats that I got out of it. This way I have an 8-power thing left over. There's the Vile Spine Slayer. Pretty happy it was so difficult for him to combo it. Okay. I think I'm in a good enough position that I can tap here. Make a 3/3. Maybe I should have put the Possessed Villager on the outside just in case of a Void Terror top deck. But it's next to a 1/1 right now. If I have to eat both of those, it's probably not that big a deal. I only have 11 power on board, but his board's not very scary. So even if he top decks Leroy, I only have to kill one of his dudes to not die. So I can just tap and play this thing. That's not lethal, is it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Alright. Let's just do this. Kill the Scalebane. Push face damage. I don't think there's any draw in his deck that punishes me for leaving up the Vile Spine Slayer. Cool. Cool, cool.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. Your soul shall be mine.
I'm gonna assume he's a slow druid. The elemental's not very good in the matchup. Possessed Villager's probably not great either. Probably going to go 1 into Coin Darkshire. Okay, he's aggro. It's probably not very smart to assume not aggro at this rank. Probably still gonna coin out the Councilman here. He does pretty well against the Enchanted Raven. Like, even if he has, what is it, Mark of Yashiraj here? Which he doesn't, because he would have played it last turn, but like if he top decks it, he still doesn't kill the Councilman straight up.
The scourge will devour all.
That's really annoying. Probably just gonna play Forbidden Ritual. 3 things is pretty solid, and then we can put 4 damage into his guy. This Councilman's becoming a real threat, and he's not a swipe deck. Well, sometimes they play swipe, often only as a one-of. If he does have the swipe here, I get absolutely destroyed. And if he doesn't have the swipe, then these 1/1s on board are pretty solid. I might even just trade him off and make 4 more 1/1s next turn. Oh, he's gonna kill my Councilman, fair. I might, okay, well that's better than making 4 1/1s. Probably, at least. Take Wind Fury. +3 attack. That 1/7's going down. I considered Poisonous because it's also pretty good against the 1/7. But I feel like Poisonous doesn't really do a whole lot against that deck. It's good against that. But I think Wind Fury is actually better against that even. I'm probably not even trading into that. Yeah, why would I trade into that? He's gonna have to trade into me. I'll just get him. Make a bunch more 1/1s. I know he didn't have a swipe 2 turns ago. If he's drawn it since then, in his deck that runs a maximum of 1 swipe, then I guess he gets me. But if he doesn't, then I got 7 free face damage. Looks like I got 7 free face damage. And here, I'm probably just gonna go Scalebane Voidwalker. Scalebane, Voidwalker, 1 damage in there. Do we want to kill a Direwolf Alpha? We're definitely not killing the crab, there's pretty much no reason to. I feel like with the Bone Mare in hand, I really just value having stuff on the board. Like, yeah, if I killed the Direwolf Alpha, his crab couldn't kill the Voidwalker. Maybe that's relevant. But I kind of want to just get the 2 face damage and have an even more guaranteed Bone Mare. Although maybe if I wanted to like really math it out and go through every possibility, maybe there was just like no way for a Bone Mare to come even close to being denied, so maybe that was the way to go. But I like having a Bone Mare pretty much. Bone Mare's 1-off lethal here. Is there any way we can ever lose from this position? I guess I'll take the trade on the Direwolf Alpha this time. Maybe if I'm willing to take the trade there, I should have just done it last turn. I think it was a pretty small decision point either way. Big Void Terror BM. Hit him with that 13-13, just so he knows he didn't stand a chance.